All like that. Don't be using that.
Oh, what?
Don't be using that.
I haven't pressed record yet.
You've started, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're such a dick. Hey guys.
Hey, you're
Hey guys, we're I'm out of my workshop today. I'm in Will's workshop. Hence I have a professional, well, semi-professional cameraman. And the purpose of being here today is to cast some pen blanks. So what Will's going to do is he's going to kindly lend me his silicone mould that he made for the Junior Gent pen kit. And we're going to clear cast, or try to clear cast, some pen blanks using vinyl stick-on logos. But we'll see how that will come out, but hopefully it will work. But rather than just put the whole pressure pot on and everything just for one small pen blank, what we're also going to do is we're going to create a slab. And this is our mix and match slab. So what we've done is we've packed it out with bits of, we've got snapped bits of walnut in there, we've got some coffee beans and resin, there's some coffee bean there, there's some Banksia pod offcuts, and we've just kind of filled that little slab mould up to try and pack it out as much as we can with bits, and then we're going to top it up with some kind of resin. So yeah, we'll see how that comes out. What's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. So yeah, let's see how we go. Okay, so what we've got is we've chucked up this bit of threaded rod that Will's got his, if the camera can get that, it's got this handy little wooden, almost like propeller, and this is what Will uses to mix up his resin. It's a really good idea, and I'll put a link below to a video of Will's where he gives that tip out and shows you how he makes that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our scales. So we're going to mix up enough resin for both moulds. We're going to do it in one big cup, and then we'll decant it into two smaller cups so that we can add some colour, and one of them is going to be clear cast anyway, but we'll add some colour and we'll mix them up in the big slab, and we'll see how that goes. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure you do if you've seen any of Will's videos, you have to mix it well. If you don't mix it well enough, it ain't going to cure properly. So we've got to make sure that we mix it well. So let's get measuring. Damn it.
What's that, Dave?
Damn it.
An eyeball. Will he do it? Oh. Ah, you suck.
I failed miserably. I had one job and I failed. We're going to keep this on a fairly slow speed, and we're going to use it to mix up our resin. And what you'll see is that because of the way the propeller's cut, it causes like a vortex that pulls all the liquid through it, so it really does mix it well. And obviously, before everyone starts commenting, yes, we know it's going to whisk a lot of bubbles into it, but because it's going into the pressure pot, it won't make such a difference, for the simple reason that the pressure pot pushes all them bubbles down to microscopic size, so they can't be seen anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem for what we want to do. The other thing that's important as well is at this point, don't pull the trigger, because you don't want to flick resin everywhere. So this is the body part of the Junior Gent pen. So there's two blanks to this. One is the actual body of the pen itself, and then the other one would be the lid. For this case, I'm just going to clear cast the body of the pen, and then I'll use some kind of acrylic for the lid. So this is Will's mould that he's previously made for this particular pen kit, and what you can see is it's got the two blanks in it. So because they're different sizes, this is the body and this one would be the lid, but as I say, I'm not going to use this to clear cast. So all I'm going to do, I've printed off the logo that I want onto a vinyl adhesive paper, and I've cut it so that it just fits nicely. That line there is the underlining of the text, so it's not actually a gap, it's the line in the text, but it's got the logo on there that I want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that onto that piece there, and then I'm just going to work it so that I can get it over the other end, hopefully, and those two bits go into the actual pen blank. So once we've got it in like that, what we can do now is when we fill that up with our resin, that tube will be set in the middle of the blank. Okay, so we're going to put the resin in. Now this is the part where I'm not entirely sure how the printer ink's going to react to the resin or how the vinyl paper. So as Will would say, we're learning. So let's have a go. Touch wood, it doesn't look like it's affected the ink. Now this has only been printed off on vinyl paper using a standard inkjet printer. So okay, so what we're doing is we're mixing up our three colours.
Why aren't you doing it, Dave?
We don't need to know that.
I think we do, Dave. Let's go into it. Let's go back regression style.
Okay, so the reason I'm not mixing up the colours is because I have what's called sparkleophobia, and I don't care to admit it, but it's basically a phobia of glitter. Now when you look at Will's colours, he is a messy sod and he's got glitter everywhere, and I just can't touch it because it freaks me out. So that's why Will is now mixing up all the sparkly stuff,
All the sparkly shit,
ready to pour into the mould. So we've got a white, we're going with a blue, so we put a bit of the powder in and a little bit of the resin, and one gives the depth of colour and the other gives like the what's it called?
takes away the transparency.
Yeah, it gives it like a translucent type, like a shimmery kind of look, isn't it?
A full look.
Yeah.
We're just going to add some of this neon, which we hope will come out. Maybe enough.
And obviously this resin's already been mixed up, so all we're doing here is making sure that the colours are all mixed through. You can see how well that comes out. That looks lovely.
Oh,
It almost looks like it's got like a kind of mirrored metallic effect. Yeah. So we've got our white.
Are we sure that's resin though? Looks a bit lumpy.
It might be sour milk.
Sour milk. Is that for the kids? Right, and then red.
So there's our blue. Now we're going to do a red. So Will's got the
If I can remember which side this one opens. Oh, sparkles.
So again, some of the powder, and then there's a red dye.
I hope it's red. It's like a pink, but we can add some black in to darken it up, which I think will do. Nice. We'll have a mix and see where we're at.
And these is a really good way of doing it, because you can. Oh, I love that. That's nice. You can just keep adding different colours to try and change the brightness of it, or you know, the tone and all that. But that looks fantastic. That's like a really deep scarlet, isn't it?
I'm bleeding!
You started?
Days a little teapot, short and still.
Right. So, what we've done is we've mixed our colours. We've done the pour. We've done a three colour pour. We've put this piece of scrap ply on the top, and the idea is that the wood and stuff that's in there is starting to float in the resin, so we want to make sure we push it down and it stays down. So we put this piece of ply on the top to hold the bits down, and with a couple of elastic bands, and then we're going to take our other mould and we're just going to sit it nicely on the top there. So now this will go in the pressure pot, and we'll bring the pressure up to about 60 psi. We'll leave it overnight, and then hopefully, all being well, we'll come back tomorrow and happy days, we'll have some nice pen blanks. So all the air that we've put in there, the compressor turns on, what it does is it fills up a tank, and there's a tank on the compressor that acts as a reservoir, so that holds the air, and then as you use the air, whether it's nailing or sanding, that kind of stuff, what it will do is it will use the air that's stored in that tank, in that reservoir. Once that's depleted, then it automatically kicks in and starts loading up again. But we're up to 60 now, so it's just a case of leave it, cross our fingers, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a usable pen blade. Hey guys, day 2, and we're now ready to open up the pressure pot and see how the blanks have come out. Ooh, that looks interesting. So you can see there, maybe what we'd need to do. Yeah,
Translucent, isn't it?
So what it's done, I don't mind it though. It looks kind of.
Yeah, I quite like it.
It made it look
See
gold,
the gold
but you can
through.
see the brass tube through it. So maybe if we did another one, I'd take the brass tube and spray it white. So if you paint the tube white before you put it on, then obviously you'd get the white background on the text. But let's see if we can pop it out. So you'll see, because it's silicone, it just, nothing sticks to it, and it just releases really nicely. So yeah, that's come out quite well. So you can see the mould allows for a little bit of excess on the ends, not loads, but just enough so you can trim that back with your pen mill. Clean the tube out, that's not a big problem. And then you can see how lovely and clear it is. The edges and the bottom, that's just where it's taken on the impression of the silicone mould. But once that's turned down and then polished up, yeah, I reckon that'll look pretty cool. I like that, I'm happy with that. So we'll take off our lackey bands, and hopefully
Is it stuck?
okay, so we might need to take that off with the bandsaw. Super easy on this. Wow. Wow, look at that. That looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see all those colours ripple through it. And by doing that sort of pouring action where we was just drizzling it around, you can see how we've got that kind of rippling effect, and you know, you've got a little bit of the white mixed in with the red there, and the blue with the white. I think that's come out phenomenal. What we'll do, we'll get this on the bandsaw, we'll trim this piece off the top, because I don't really want to force it off. So we'll trim that off the top with the bandsaw, and then we'll be able to see the top of the slab and see how that came out.
There you go.
amazing. The colour looks just great, and you really can smell that coffee. So you can see all the coffee beans from the coffee bean blanks, the nice walnut that's in there. There's bits of the Banksia pod that we put in there as well. That's really, really cool. And what we did was left this one big, because we might be able to make maybe a handle for a letter opener or a bottle stopper or something like that. But yeah, that's really cool. I like them.